I used to talk I used to talk about what I called the art of authenticity.
Mm.
And basically the underlying principle that I came up with was there is only one form of art in this world, and that is the art of being authentically yourself and revealing whatever that is to everyone else,
Mhm.
no matter what your medium is.
Yeah, the art of authenticity. I love that.
The
That's
art of authenticity.
wow.
I remember when I thought of that, I was like walking to go to like teach the salsa class. I was thinking about like all the it's so weird. I did all these, you know, I had a vocal coach for a very long time and we do all these lessons. And after like a year of technique, it became like performance things. And these performance techniques started to just resonate with me, and I was applying them to my daily life.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, I think that there's like some sort of vein of truth under all of this. I remember I'm walking to go teach the salsa class, and I was like, I think there's only one form of art, and that's just being authentically yourself. And I whip out my cell phone, and I literally message him, and I go, the art of authenticity, and then I go, the art of being authentically yourself, and I just like sent that to him, and he was like, oh my God, yes, you figured it out. And I was like, yes.
We have the answers. We're good. Call Sway, call everybody. We got it. Print it.
I literally, by the end of this, when I had to do like the final lecture in my salsa class, I didn't have any more topics. And I was like, what if we did an entire final class talking about the art of authenticity and being authentically yourself? And I did like an hour long, just like lecture in front of the whole class. I remember afterwards, someone came up to me and he goes, congratulations, half the class has no idea what you're talking about, and the other half is like having an existential crisis. Congratulations.
Yep. That's the best way to end a class. The last day, it's like, all right, half of you, you're good. You've gotten what you want. This is a wrap up. You're checking your phones, you're hanging out, you're enjoying, thinking about what you're going to do with your friends. The other half is like, what is existence? Who am I? What does it mean to be me or be at all? And the fact that this was in a student-run class makes it that much better.
Yeah, exactly. It's a dance class. Think about it. You're learning how to salsa dance.
That might be the best place to get existential crisis from.
I guess the things I did for that salsa class, I'm really upset to learn that they don't do like the lecture anymore. Just really unfortunate because, oh my God, the crazy things that we did. But I remember that I actually got a message from one of my students, like at the start of the next semester. And she was like, I don't think I ever thanked you for having, she's like, I don't think I ever thanked you for such a wonderful class. And she goes, it was so weird and inspiring. And I was like, this is what I strive for. This is definitely what I strive for. And she goes, but thank you for encouraging me to be authentically myself, because I really needed to hear that. And I've been taking, winter break to really think about what that means.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, like this was my own kind of realization that I was just gonna like, here you guys go. But to know that like someone else was also like, oh, I needed to hear this. That was a good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, that there's kind of a meta sense of being authentic in inspiring other people to be authentic. Like, right. If that was resonating with you at the minute, then helping other people arrive at that same conclusion or a similar conclusion that had the same value to them. It's in the same spirit, right? What are some ways that you think people can be their authentic selves in their crafts?
We're gonna pretend like talking about perfecting your craft is not, we're not discussing that because it has its place, but it's not what we're talking about. And I think that the first thing is whatever your medium is. Okay, writing, music, painting, film, whatever it is, photography. What do you feel? What do you feel when you ask yourself, what do I feel when create this piece of art? Right? Like if I take a picture of a sunset, I'm not going to say like, what am I trying to say? No. How do I feel? What does this photograph make me feel? Right? And does it line up with what you were feeling at that time? Right? I think it's about being connected with yourself, which is difficult for some people. You know, especially when, for example, like I'll write songs if I am struggling emotionally, right? Like that's therapeutic in some ways. Of course, you know, you can also write songs when you're perfectly happy. That's fine. But let's say you're going through it emotionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write a song and it's gonna have that. And I think that for some people that's really scary to show that to the rest of the world, to say like, I'm not okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that. And you're like, hey world, guess what? I'm not okay. Like, you know, that's not how we're trained to be as humans.
Right.
And there's something very scary about that level of intimacy that you have in your art.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about beginning by feeling connected with yourself, be honest about how you're feeling, and does my art represent what I feel?
I don't think there's anything that's ever going to replace that in the creative process. And I can't think of just right away, I cannot think of anything more valuable to people who encounter that art, whatever it is, than going, you know what, this person is saying something that clearly means something to them. And for that reason, it's worth paying attention to. And for the people who it connects with, it's like, whoa, this is a conduit into seeing how somebody else is dealing with this in a way that not only makes me feel something, but also validates how I feel. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which, there's so much more in there too. I don't want to just say that that's the only thing to take from that. But yeah.
It makes you feel like your art can make you feel like you're not alone. And I think that that's something that's super valuable.
Yes. Yeah.
I have experienced it firsthand. You know, like I'm definitely the type of person to take the old boxer reference. I like to keep my fists up to the rest of the world, right? And that's just how I am. But you don't have to do that in art. It defeats the purpose of art.
Hey friends, if you liked that clip of the Create Connected podcast, you might like listening to the entire episode using the link on screen.